Ken Wild. Here. John Westfall.
Here.
Norbert Dornfeld.
Here.
And James Hyde. Absent Richard Fink and Barb Petty.
Terry's filling in for Barb, who's the clerk tonight, so.
Be patient.
Proof of notice,
So noted in the agenda.
approval of the agenda. Motion by Norm, second by Jim. Any questions on the agenda? Norm?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried 5-0-2. Citizens Forum. Laura Key would like to speak first.
Oh, yes. I'm Lori Robson, I live at 302 Cardinal Circle, and I was called about what you're going to be doing with this building, correct? Okay. I really wonder if we need to purchase that building outside of town. The one comment that I remember, I think it was in the paper, that it said it was difficult for people to find this building. Well, I got a great idea. How about you do what other administrators had before and move this up to the high school, where you could be right in there with the people. And that way, if they can find the high school, they certainly can find the administrator. And some of the things that Ron Andrews is going to present to you, I agree with. We have talked about it. I'm very upset over the fact that we did not get our money returned to us that Walker had given to us. In fact, my taxes went up. And I know it had something to do with the school and not with the city council, because we did talk about that, months and months ago. I have not been totally up to date on some of the things because there have been some health problems that I have been dealing with my family. But I just want to make sure that everybody knows that I'm against this. And that's my purpose for being here. I love Mayville, but the taxes are getting worse and worse and worse, and I want it to stop. So please consider moving the administration to the high school. I heard you're going to be doing some renovation. It was good enough for Mr. Bushby when he was there, and it was great having him there. Of course, that's just my opinion, and I'm just one person. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. John Bauer?
Don Bauer, 803 Kikowski Street, Mayville. I'm here representing the Mayville Einstein School Museum, which is the basement property here, and I'm the president of the museum. And I'd just like to state that the museum is very grateful that the school district over the years has plowed a shared driveway out here, and also for allowing us to use the garbage dumpster, which wasn't too much, but we did use it. However, I'm a little disappointed that the school district never notified the museum that on the proceedings related to the demolition of the buildings. The reason being, we may be interested in the garage, or as I refer to it, the old egg shop. Because as I understand it, you'll no longer be cleaning the snow out once the buildings are gone. So we're going to have to do something, and that would be an ideal place that we could store either a garden tractor or some sort of snow removal equipment. So, like I say, before you demolish all of those, I'd like to consider that the school deed over that building to the museum. Thank you.
Thank you. Ron Andrews?
I want to say that I support what Mr. Bauer is saying. I'm going to go back to the demolition of this building again. And we had Mr. Fink discuss the roof repair, that the maintenance program that the school has. They didn't have the ability to do the repair, nor did any contractor coming and know how to fix this building. That roof was maintained for many years by whoever had the building. There's no difference in that roof from any other roof. And your cost for that roof was way over what it should be. I got a price from the schoolhouse that got their roof done. They have 11,000 square feet. The roof over the gym is only 9,000 square feet. They paid $40,000 to have their roof done. So the roof over here should only cost about $35,000 to $40,000. We'll say 40 grand. But the costs that we figured are like 7 times what that costs. So even if we pay 7 times what it costs, I'm going to add that to the end of my conversation. We also discussed the square footage and how great that Aurora building was, and it was such a affordable building at under $2 a square foot, which Pat had talked about. And I figured out the building's about 4,000 square feet, which I heard. That brings it to $125 a square foot. The building, does anyone know what the square footage is of this building?
48.
48 what?
100.
48.
No,
This,
everything is about
I'm going to tell you what it is.
10,000 square feet.
It's 24,000 square feet.
They wouldn't have guessed it.
24,000 square feet, they don't have to guess it, I'll tell them. 24,000 square feet. If we would spend $600,000 on this building, that's $25 a square foot. That's a fifth of what that building is out there. This building is much better built than that building out. That's a frame structure. This is a brick and concrete structure that'll last forever. It's only 88 years old, the gym. This building is 55 years old. There's no comparison. This building should last forever. This was built as a machine shop in here, I was told. These floors are thick, you can bring equipment in here. It's built so well. The pricing at $600,000, the same amount of, you're still gonna spend about $500 out there by the time you're done. $125 a square foot. The $600,000 you spend here to repair this building would be $25 a square foot. So, you said that building was worth $1 million at 4,000 square feet. If you took that 4,000 square feet and times it times the 7, what does it come to? What did I figure here? 4,000 square feet. That would make this building worth $6 million at the square footage. But at the $500,000 price you have out there, this building should be worth about $2.5 million. So I don't understand how this got figured, and I mean, you're educated people here. I'm just a construction worker, and I have to bring this to your attention. This should have been figured out a lot clearer than it has been. Now you're ripping this building down. There are people in this town that would pay for this building. They would buy it. There's the Thomas last name.
Yeah.
They would take it off your hand for free. They would take it off your hand for free. The taxpayer wouldn't be spending this money. This makes no sense to me. I mean, I discussed it last time I was in this meeting, and I thought about it. I thought, you know, for me to listen to all this stuff and leave here and not say anything, I'm a fool. So, what else do I need to talk about? Oh, we voted on this. It got voted on. 37 people voted to tear the building down, and I don't know, 10 people were against it. So actually 27 people, maybe out of 5,500 population, decided that we need to tear this building down. That makes no sense at all. Maybe that's the way the system works, but maybe the board should have said, you know what, this does not sound right. We need to get the public involved. We need to know that everybody in this community has an input and cares about what we're doing here. So, you know, that's another one of the issues that I have. So, the garage got a brand new roof that the taxpayers paid for over here, the little garage that Mr. Barr was talking about. I guess we paid for that. I don't think it should be torn down. I think that's a great idea. We need to try to help the community. These people don't get the money that we get. They do get for the school buildings to maintain them. But they've done a better job. They put a new roof on that building. Their windows are nice. They work on that building. They take care of it. They deserve to have something. And I can't believe that the school system doesn't maintain their stuff with our tax dollars that they should. So, and I'm one person. I'm talking for the for the taxpayers. This is not for me. This doesn't do me any, this is not just for me. And I think everybody here needs to face the facts that you're working for us. You're public workers. We pay for you. The taxpayers pay for you, and the private sector is what makes the money to be able to afford the schools. And we need to remember that. So I hope I said everything I wanted to say, and I hope that the public gets involved more so that this stuff doesn't happen in the future. But I think you need to stop the demolition of this building and reconsider what you're doing, because this is going to be something that's going to come up at every meeting, because it's wrong. And the public's going to slowly find out about what's going on, and hopefully they will wake up. So, thanks.
Mr. Thomas. All right. I would say, I'm Tony Thomas, 456 North Walnut Street, Mayville. I would say it's not only wrong, it's criminal. I got a little prop here. I want to talk to Pat. You remember this bucket?
Mhm.
What is it?
That's the chemicals for the boiler system water that we gave to you
What
for
happened?
your system.
Yeah, when they drained the boiler system for the gymnasium because you guys decided not to heat it anymore, somehow we had a ball valve open just a little bit in Dave's building, and you drained our boilers. Okay, so I go to fire up the boilers. My boilers, Dave's boilers, they're popping and crackling. I'm like, I've been in here 12 years, and it's like, what is going on here? And I didn't know, but I'm overheating the boilers. So then I'm running a circulator pump that's liquid cooled for like a day because I'm circulating water through the 3 floors because all the univents are outside walls, so you want to circulate the water so you don't freeze up an outside univent. So that's why I'm running the pump before I fire the boilers. And by the time I figured out there was no water in the system, I burned up a $1,500 boiler or pump, and luckily I went on eBay and found one for $437. I installed it myself, and that's what it cost me. You guys would have spent $3,000 to fix the same pump, because that's how it works, But we can help ourselves out a little bit because we're mechanically inclined. So so we're looking for some of this treatment to put back into the boiler because otherwise it's going to corrode. And we didn't have any. So Dave says, well, maybe ask the school. Maybe they got some left. They're not going to use their boilers anyhow. And sure enough, you guys had about 2.5 gallons, which is enough to condition the water in our boilers. So then we've got the univents. They're all, there's water or air trapped in the univents. So you have to keep continuously bleeding these things. All winter I played with that thing to get that thing to heat again, But anyhow, so do you remember our conversation when you handed this to me?
Not particular.
You don't. We were talking
You
about.
thanked me and
Okay, I said, I'll start the conversation. I said, it's okay, probably, if you don't heat the gymnasium in the wintertime. But come spring, you're going to need to keep that building a little bit warmer than outside temperature, or you're going to have condensation, and it's going to create black mold. I know we played the same game at the 3-story red brick school. And you remember what you told me?
No, not particularly.
Well, how are you going to handle it? What are you going to do? You're not going to heat it. You're not going to run dehumidifiers. How are you going to keep it?
Dehumidifiers and univents, exhaust fans.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Well, he said that the building is equipped with air handlers. And these air handlers are going to somehow keep the condensation out so you're not going to get black mold. Well, I told my Uncle Dave that, and he said, well, it looks like they don't like the building, they're going to ruin it probably. And he says, well, maybe if they don't want it anymore, we can make them an offer because it is connected to his 3-story building. So then when my uncle made you guys an offer, that's exactly a year later, my uncle's first email came out. He made his offer. If you guys want this, you can have it. I printed some prints off because you guys have never seen this. But these are my uncle's offers to purchase the building, do something, because he's interested. His building is connected to it. Stacy, you want to pass these out? Then, okay, so then, that was only a year later. You guys decided to bail out on it a year later. It was not even a year since my boilers were screwed up, because this was 12 December. Here I am in December panicking because I got no heat. 2011. By December 2012, it was in the paper that you were going to demolish the gymnasium for $250,000. My uncle was like, they shouldn't take it down, we'll make them an offer. We did. I came in here at 8 o'clock in the morning, a Monday morning meeting, had a nice meeting, had Dave on speakerphone. Afterward, the school board goes over through the red brick. Pat Anthony's all like, wow, this building's mint, this is cool. So I'm like, hey, I told my Uncle Dave, Pat Anthony seems like a good person, you should call her. And I don't think that you guys ever talked, there was no communication. Oh, you did? Cool. So then like another year goes by, and there's another offer. And then it comes to like 2 weeks ago when we came with a late offer, because they're thinking, you know, it's a big building, we'd like to find somebody to lease this part before they make the commitment, because otherwise he's gonna have a bigger, non-profitable property. And it's a lot for one guy to have 26,000 square feet here and another 20,000 over there and no income. And he pays $8,000 a year in taxes, you know. So I just want you guys to know that my uncle tried to save that building. And another thing about all this money, okay, there's probably 1,200 people in the school system and the kids. And each one of those kids has a mom and a dad. So you're looking at 2,400 people. You think that somebody would have enough skills that you could get a little group in there and you know, clean up a little mold, you know, come in with respirators, buy some equipment, rip out the floor, get some heat in there. You don't need 3 boilers, you need maybe 2 in case one goes down. As a matter of fact, my uncle's boilers are hooked up to that building. We could pump heat in there right now, unless you guys tore out the pipes already. You know, there really wasn't a lot of, I don't know why I can do everything so cheap and it costs everybody else so much, you know. But, you know, it's criminal. It's how are you going to replace 26,000 feet? Alan Schmidt got kicked out with her park decorations, Foster Park, all the Christmas decorations. Shoal Choir got kicked out. You guys are getting kicked out. It's just goofy, you know. Unless you got plans for the property that we don't know about, if something's going to show up here all of a sudden. That's all.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on. We will approve the minutes of the previous meeting. The motion.
I'll move.
By Terry. Seconded by Shannon. Any questions on the minutes?
Yeah.